I was beginning to wonder about what was involved in sharing the gospel with those around me. I was surrounded by a lot of people who had quite an Arminian approach to sharing the gospel, or something very different from the preaching I'd grown up under. And I began to read about it, and Kuyper's book was the one that I turned to.
And you were still at school, obviously, when
Still
that
at
happened.
school. Most of my peers were fairly suspicious of that kind of theology. And it created something of a crisis for me, because I was surrounded by people who were eager to share their faith, but didn't really stop to think about what lay behind it. I expected it to be a kind of hindrance to sharing the gospel, that if God predestines people to salvation, then, and there's nothing that we can do to choose it for ourselves, then what's the point of trying to persuade people? But the more I read about his exposition of God's sovereignty over the task and his love that underpinned the call to share the gospel, it just opened up a whole new world in terms of knowing that this wasn't a futile thing to speak to people who were hostile to God in themselves.